Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and with all the Crate Dragon Raid stuff going on, there's been so many things. I feel like we have lost sight of the Leviathan, and I wanted to circle back around, touch base, and let you guys know what you should be doing to prep for the Leviathan and the Sith Empire fleet coming into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes later this year. Let's dive right in, guys. We got to talk about this because it has completely slipped a lot of our minds. Before we do that, you know the drill. We need to get Wampa to Relic 8, and to do that, I need 5,000 subscribers on this channel. When we hit 5,000, Wampa will hit Relic 8 on a special live stream, and I'll make sure that we make a big deal out of that. Do it at a time that suits all of my subscribers, so that way everybody can join in on the fun. I love all of you guys. Let's dive right in. Let's get into the meat of this video and talk about the Leviathan. So, here it is. Alright, so if you are under 4 million galactic power, you just need to be focusing on getting your Sith Empire. I think if you're under 4 million, the Leviathan should not be a primary concern of yours, because it's going to be locked behind a lot of things. It's going to be locked behind getting the Fury class interceptor, getting Malgus, and those are things that if you're under 4 million, you're just not really going to have at your disposal. And so my advice is just build this team, right? Go get Darth Revan, go get Malak. You know, Sith Marauder I have in here just because he's a really good character, but also a fantastic pilot that you're going to get a lot of use out of before this fleet becomes your, arena team, whatever. So under 4 million, you really don't have to worry as much. Just kind of build this team up. They're a great Grand Arena team, and once you get Darth Malgus, they get even better, right? They jump into a completely different category with Darth Malgus in the team. So it's really something that I'm highly recommending you that when you're under 4 million, this is a fantastic team to build. Again, it's going to really depend on your farming guide and when you think you can fit them into your roster. So, again, under 4 million, there's not a lot you can do, right? It's one of the unfortunate things with these conquest units that when you're under 4 million, it's going to be very hard to get these things. I'm very curious if the Fury class interceptor will kind of go the Razor Crest route, where they'll move it to like a fleet shipment kind of thing. So just be on the lookout for that. That maybe down the road this gets significantly easier to obtain. But right now, if you're under 4 million, just get this team. Don't really worry about when you get Leviathan, because it's going to be a monstrous undertaking. If you are over 4 million galactic power, you're able to do hard mode conquest. You're able to earn a significant number of Fury class interceptor shards. Make sure you get Darth Malgus, right? You want to be making sure you have him. If you're someone like me, you've got Darth Malgus. Now, on the flip side of that, there's going to be these other Sith Empire characters, and you just need to prepare yourself for the, I'm going to say inevitable, but prepare yourself for the, theoretical that you might need relics on HK-47, Sith Empire Trooper, and Sith Assassin. We don't know anything confirmed yet outside of the fact that Sith Assassin, her ship is going to be required for that fleet. Other than that, we don't know. Or that it's going to work really well with that fleet. So I'm not telling everybody in here to go Relic 8, Relic 9, HK, Sith Assassin, Sith Empire Trooper. Like, we don't know what the requirements are yet. You just need to prepare yourself for that, potential that you're going to need to invest in these characters. And so make sure you've got the stars on them. Make sure you have Sith Assassin ship farmed. Just, I really think a lot of players, where they're going to get tripped up with this is that they're going to focus on Malgus. They're going to get the Fury class interceptor, and then they're going to have like a, 3-star Sith Assassin, or Sith Empire Trooper is going to be 3-star, or, HK, I think you have to have HK to get Darth Revan. It's more so going to be, you're going to have to relic him up, and then you're not going to be prepared for everything else. So just, prepare yourself for that, potential that you're going to need to invest in these characters that otherwise you don't have. And then again, obviously, Darth Malgus, if you don't have him, he is in Proving Grounds now, so you're going to be able to earn his shards that way. Just don't be one of the, and I said this a while ago, and I'll say it here again, don't be one of those players who's going to go in and do all these refreshes of the Malgus Proving Grounds, and then not even be able to get your, TIE Interceptor, or this Fury class Interceptor. I understand that he's a great character, but I would not be blowing thousands and thousands and thousands of crystals, and then you're going to find yourself in a situation where you don't even have enough shards of the Fury class Interceptor after 6 conquests. That's just, again, one person's advice here that you could end up really putting yourself in a hole where you spend all this currency, spend all these crystals, and then you can't even really get the ship because you're going to be gated behind something else. So just, again, I think I mentioned, I'll also link that video in the description, like, don't panic buy Malgus, Don't panic and do it. You know, take your time, do it the right way, and I think you'll be better off for it in the long run. Not that he's not a great character, but I don't think it's smart to tell people to spend, 6,000 crystals every single proving grounds trying to get him up. That's a lot of crystals. All right, the Ebon Hawk. So what are we doing here? We always know with ships, right? With the Executor, with Profundity, that there's some of these other things that are required that, might not always make sense. You might not always use with that fleet. And with the Executor, that was ships like the TIE Bomber, TIE Advanced, and the Imperial TIE Fighter, right? That I think they were ships that you just didn't really need, but they were required for that Executor, right? And I think the Ebon Hawk could be something similar to that to the Leviathan fleet. The Ebon Hawk is probably one of the fewest farm ships in the game because of just unless you get Rey, you don't need it for anything. It is a very good ship when you have it. It's got some really good abilities. It's actually very important to help counter the Executor. But I think a lot of newer players especially will not have this ship because it's not an easy thing to get. It is in the Cantina now with Karth, right? It is in the Cantina now with Karth, so it's a lot more accessible than it used to be. But I think Karth is more accessible than it used to be, maybe. I think the Ebon Hawk was always there. But I think a lot of players will get Karth 7-star and just stop farming that node. So I'd be prepared that ship could at least be a 7-star requirement for this fleet. I would not be at all surprised by that. In fact, going based off of what Capital Games normally does, I think that would be a shoo-in, right? So my suspicious nature leads me to believe that Shorty could be a really good requirement for this fleet. I say that because Shorty's a newer character, and Capital Games made Shorty up. Like, Shorty's not at all anywhere else. Like, they just created this character, and it has an Old Republic tag. And I think that it's such a new character that a lot of newer players probably ignore Shorty because, like, how are you supposed to use them? It's a very endgame character. And the suspicious nature in me says this is going to be a good way for them to capitalize on some monetization to kind of get you with something that Shorty could be one of those characters you're going to need. So I have been farming Shorty on the side. Again, I don't know. If I'm wrong, then hey, you know what? I get Shorty and I can invest some gear in there and make a good team. If I'm right, I look like a genius. So, I'm willing to take that risk. You guys let me know in the comments what you think on that one. And then Canderous is the other one that I'm kind of on the fence about. He is Darkseid. He doesn't have the Sith Empire tag, but that's never stopped Capital Games from, you think of Beskar Mando has a bounty hunter tag for the Razor Crest, but he himself is not a bounty hunter. Dash Rendar is not a rebel, but his ship has a rebel tag. So they've played with tags a little bit, and I could see someone like Canderous being that Darkseid character kind of getting that Sith Empire tag on like a ship maybe somewhere. I don't know that for certain. I could be just taking a stab in the dark, but it just, with Capital Games history on these things, I could very well see that happening just to make something, just to get use out of it, right? In terms of the other Old Republic, I thought it'd just be good to kind of go through this and say, I can't really see any of the rest of these characters, right? Like, you've got your Jedi, Juhani here, and then you've got, I don't know that I see any of these characters really being, I could be wrong on the relic requirements, right? But I'm less hesitant to tell you right now that, yes, go and, relic these characters, be prepared. I definitely think the Sith Empire ones make a lot more sense to me. I think if anything, it'd be someone like T3, right? I think that's a very good shout, and that's why I think I have Shorty in there too. That they're gonna want you to have to relic some characters that the majority of people don't have. That's the whole reason they do these things. Like, why was Cad Bane a not a relic requirement for the Executor? Is because Jedi Master Kenobi required him as part of his farm. So they're not going to let you always double dip. I think they've done a pretty good job of trying to keep you from being able to double dip on a lot of things, especially with some of the newer stuff, right? So, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I'm not comfortable. I don't feel as confident calling these out as I do someone like Shorty and even Canderous. just simply based on their past history and what they do. So you guys let me know what you think. I just, again, you know, to kind of throw this in here, I'm just not, oops, if I could spell correctly. Wow, I'm way off, that's why. I'm just not confident, right? I'm not confident on these guys. I'm not convinced, as I am the rest of these things. Now, how does this fit in, you know, to kind of wrap things up here? How does this fit in with your Crate Dragon farming? So, I unfortunately think that if you're a under 4 million player, you're going to go after your Sith Empire here, and then you just need to focus on maybe building some crate teams. But I think if you're over that 4 million hump, you've got some Crate Dragon raid teams, you're capable of doing some good damage, I think prepping for the Leviathan is going to be the smartest move for you in the game. It's going to be the game-changing fleet like everything always is. And I think it's going to really shake things up. It's not just the fleet arena, but it's the GAC territory war impact that this ship will have. You think about the advantage that your guild could have if everybody's got Leviathan, or that 10 people have Leviathan versus 2 in the opposing guild, or a GAC where you have it and your opponent doesn't. I mean, it's, you know, those advantages are not something to sneeze at. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. As always, smash that subscribe button, leave likes, leave comments. Again, we're trying to get our king, Wampa, to 5,000 subscribers. He may not be a crew member, he may not be a fleet commander, but he's always in your heart. That's the end of the video. I love all you guys. May the force be with you. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.